Hey everyone, welcome to Tiger True Crime. This is Tyson, your host. I'm so glad you guys are with us. Hope you guys enjoyed that intro. Had a chance to visit the La Quinta Hotel right here in Mesa, Arizona, where unfortunately Daniel Shaver lost his life back in January of 2016. That's the case we're going to be discussing tonight, and I want you guys to tell me whether it was murder or justified. That's going to be our discussion tonight, as you can see on the screen. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say hello to a couple of people here. Hi, Tracy L. Hey, she said, "Hey, handsome, thank you very much." Spooky, Brown's Mermaid, Debbie Spence, Glam Dolly. Thank you for joining us from the UK, Glam Dolly. Hello, Diana Fields. Beach Bum is here as always. Thank you, guys. I can't express enough, guys, how difficult this is trying to run this by yourself, because you got so many like buttons to push and things like that, but I'm getting the hang of it here, so just bear with me. But I would like to say, first and foremost, happy birthday to my mom, Carolyn. If you're in the house tonight, Carolyn, please comment. And we want to wish you a happy birthday. If you guys have never seen a picture of my mother, I'm going to show you a picture of her right now. My beautiful mom. I'm not going to tell you how old she is today, because she would totally kill me. But this is her, Carolyn. Happy birthday, Mom. She's a wonderful mom. She's been with me through thick and thin, through a lot of things that I went through. She was there. Here's another picture of her. I think I took that picture. Did I take that picture, Mom? Are you in the house tonight? So, yeah, I can't really look at the comments and the pictures, but she does look young. You're right, Sally Birch. She looks pretty young for her age. And I won't tell you how old she is, but I hope that I was able to get her good genes. Her father, my grandfather, is 90. Can't remember how old he is. He's in his 90s, though. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to wish her a happy birthday. I hope you're here, Mom. I don't see you commenting, but I'm sure you're here somewhere. Betty Smith, hi, Tyson. Hi, Betty. Happy birthday, Tyson's mom. Carolyn H. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get right into our discussion tonight. We're going to talk about, like I mentioned from the top, we're going to talk about the Daniel Shaver case that happened right here in Mesa, Arizona. And this is a case that truly bothered me when I heard about it a couple of years ago, as I'm sure it bothered a lot of other people, obviously, around the world. This is a case involving a police shooting where the police came into a hotel, that very hotel that I just showed you, that very room. In fact, you guys may think it's kind of creepy, but I tried to rent that room 502 tonight. I was going to do my live from room 502, but the receptionist at the desk told me that somebody else was in there for the night. You know, I'm sure I could have went up to whoever was in there and said, "Hey, do you know the history of what happened here? Do you want to trade rooms?" But I didn't I didn't want to do that. So I got another room. So there's Carolyn H. I was looking for you, Mom. Tyson, yes. Love you. I am here. Thank you, everyone. Happy birthday, Mom. Hope it's been a great day for you. Last year, we got to spend your birthday together. This year, we weren't as lucky, but I hope your day was wonderful. So anyway, I want to talk about, first and foremost, I want to talk about who these two people are, Daniel Shaver and Philip Brailsford. Now, Philip doesn't go by Philip. He goes by Mitch. And I got a nickname for him, but I'm not going to use it on the air. You might be able to guess what it is. It kind of rhymes, but anyway, Mitch, I'm going to show you who he was. He was a Mesa police officer, and before he became a police officer, he grew up right here in Mesa, Arizona, went to Desert Ridge High School. After high school, he decided that he was going to go on a church mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And there he is. Mr. Mitch is right here on the left. And he served his mission in Ecuador. And here's another one. Mitch is on the right this time. And as you look at his face, you can see that he's a strapping young man. Looks like he's happy. Got a very nice countenance to him, in my opinion. While he was there in Ecuador, here's another one from his mission. He's on the left again. And if you guys don't know this, I also served a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in the West Indies. And as I look at that picture right there, I imagine that this guy is some sort of an artist, and he does woodworking, and he made these guys these pictures. It looks like he does some sort of not carving, but like where he burns the wood. So we had some people where I was on my mission he was a goldsmith, and he actually made me some really nice jewelry. That was in Guyana, South America. And in case you don't believe me, here's a picture of me when I was on my mission back in the day. Some of you may have already seen that picture, but that was taken in Barbados. And no, we were not allowed to swim or go surfing or anything like that. Dang it. I want to go back so I can do all the fun stuff. Anyway, Mitch was a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He served 2 years in Ecuador. He came home from his mission after serving honorably, and he decided that he wanted to become an actor. Now, his father was a police sergeant with the Mesa Police Department, where he worked for many years while Mitch was growing up. And I guess Mitch decided he didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, so he decided to go into acting. And I have some pictures of he tried to get his career going. There he is sitting on a Harley Davidson. And here he is flashing his muscular body there, casting 360. According to some of the stuff that I read, his acting career didn't ever get off the ground. He was not successful. And so guess what he did, ladies and gentlemen? He decided that he was going to follow in his father's footsteps. And so he went to the police academy. And here's a picture of Mitch shortly after he got out of the academy, a happy young buck here out on the beat, out on the streets of Mesa, Arizona. And you can still see the smile on his face. He looks pretty happy there to be out on the force. So anyway, that's a little bit about Mitch Brailsford, Philip Brailsford. Now he passed his path crossed with Daniel Shaver on January 18th, 2016 at the La Quinta Hotel. And there it is. And that is the hotel that I showed in the beginning. Now, the story is, well, first of all, let me introduce Daniel here. Getting a little bit ahead of myself. So Daniel's a family man. He's originally from Tennessee, but he was living in Texas at the time. And here's his family. There's Daniel, his wife, Lacey, their 2 children. Here's Daniel's wife and 2 children. And here's Daniel with his daughter. Now, Daniel, like I said, he was born and raised in Tennessee, but he moved to Texas, where I believe his wife was from, and he became employed by his father-in-law in a pest control business, and he was responsible for going around to different states, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, to eliminate pests, but mostly to take birds out of Walmarts. The birds had come in, and he was responsible for getting the birds out of Walmart, among other things. And that I'll tell you more about that here in a little while. But on January 18th, 2016, Daniel checked into the La Quinta Hotel in Mesa, Arizona. And Daniel apparently was a very outgoing, friendly guy. And he met a couple that actually worked at the hotel. He met him in the elevator as he was going up to the 5th floor to his room. And he invited those 2 employees to come over to his room to have some drinks. And so they did. And you know how things go, and a little turned into a lot, and pretty soon Daniel was pretty drunk. And so one of the it was a man and a woman that was in the room with him, and one of them said, "Hey, do you play an instrument? What's in that case?" And he said, "No, that's not an instrument. That's a gun." And he says, "I work for a pest control company, and I take out birds in Walmart." And the guy, I think it was the guy, he said, "Oh, that's cool." He said, "Well, let me look at the gun." And so they pulled it out, and it was a pellet gun. And they started messing around with it in front of the window, and some people down at the pool saw them messing with this gun. And so they called the front desk, and the front desk, as you can imagine, they freaked out. And so they called 911. And I think I have that 911 call here. I've never tried to show one like this before. So let's see if this is going to work, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me as I get this 911 call.
I'm with the La Quinta at 6530 East Superstition Springs Boulevard. And a couple of the guests that come to me, I'm an employee here, they come to me and they told me that somebody's pointing a rifle outside of one of the windows in our building.
Okay, and this is the 6530 East Superstition Springs Boulevard in Mesa?
Yes, it is.
Do we know what he's pointing it at? Do we know what he's pointing the gun at?
We're not sure. They're saying 4th floor.
Okay, one moment here.
That blue one right there? That's, yeah, that's what I thought. 5th floor, that's going to be 502. 502? All right, yeah, I have the room number.
Okay, is anybody injured at this time?
Nobody's injured at the moment, no. We've got some scared people, but...
Okay. What room number?
We believe 502, but... Yeah, that's the room that he's staying in.
Okay. Have you seen the person that's staying in that room? Have you seen the person that's staying in that room?
Yeah, I'm going to double check the map right now to make sure that that's absolutely the room that we're thinking about. But I can get you their name right now.
Okay, and what is their name?
Hey, where's the map? Where's the map of you keep showing it to people to show them where to park? Yeah.
Okay, so what is his name?
I have to double check and make sure because, you know. Yeah. That's definitely 502. Okay, his name. Let me sign in to my computer right now. Yeah, Daniel Shaver. His name's spelled like it sounds.
S-H-A-V-E-R?
Yeah.
Do we have a date of birth for him?
No.
Have you seen him at all? Have you seen him at all?
Yeah, I've seen him today.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Native?
He's white. He's a white male, ginger hair.
Okay, hold on 1 second, officer. Hold on 1 second. Officers are asking me to confirm where 502 is on, or is in that building. Is it on the north or south side of the building?
It's on the south end of the building, closest to the east side of it.
Okay. Okay, and you said he's a white male. But how old did you say he is?
I'd put him in his late 20s and early 30s.
Okay, what color shirt and pants? I'm sorry, you said you saw him earlier today, correct?
Yes, I did.
And what color shirt and pants was he wearing? Do you remember?
He was wearing a black Tool shirt, like the band Tool.
And what color pants?
Blue jeans.
About how tall would you say he is?
I'd call him about 5'8".
And his weight approximately?
130, 140 pounds, maybe.
And you said he had red hair?
Reddish.
Reddish hair. Any glasses, jewelry, tattoos, facial hair, anything like that for him?
No.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
Does he have a vehicle registered?
Yeah, I don't know if it's registered, but I can find it in the parking lot.
Okay, you know what type of vehicle it is?
I'll recognize it if I see it. I'm headed there right now.
Okay. Only if it's safe for you to do so.
Yeah, it's on the north side of the building, so I think I'm all right.
All right. So that was the 911 call. Were you guys able to hear that okay? If you guys heard that, all right, give me a thumbs up, please. I want to make sure everybody heard that. The way my technology's been going lately, just shoot me a thumbs up in the comments if you don't mind. Okay, thank you, Nadia. All right, so that was a 911 call, and so I want to play this video that it's a reenactment that I did today. So now that the 911 call has been placed, the police are now on their way, and of course it was a little bit later at night, but this is the little route that I recorded today. It's a reenactment. It's not the real thing, but it'll give you an idea. Okay, so at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you a warning. This is going to be very graphic. I don't know if you've already heard anything about this case or watched the little thing that I put up earlier, but I just want to give you a fair warning that the remainder of this program is going to be extremely graphic. And so viewer discretion is advised. If you guys want to leave, then you can, but if you want to stay, that's wonderful too. I would love to have you. So anyway, so the police show up, Daniel, and one person is in the room. One of the other person left to go call his wife, and the woman stayed there. And so there's two people in the room. The police show up, and what I'm about to show you now is the actual body cam footage from Officer Mitch Brailsford. So let me pull that up next here. there! Stop! Stop! Get on the ground, both of you! Lay down on the ground! Lay down on the ground! Who else is in the room?
Nobody.
Nobody else is in the room?
Nobody.
Are you positive?
Nobody. Absolutely positive.
Okay. Since apparently we have a failure for you to comprehend simple instructions, I'm going to go over some of them again. Okay? Can you both hear and understand me?
Yes.
All right. If you make a mistake, another mistake, there's a very severe possibility you're both going to get shot. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
All right.
What the?
This is shut up. I'm not here to be tactful or diplomatic with you. You listen, you obey. For one thing, did I tell you to move, young man? Did I tell you to
No, sir. No,
put
sir.
both
No,
your
sir.
hands,
No, sir. No, sir.
put both your hands on the top of your head and interlace your fingers. Take your feet and cross your left foot over your right foot. Who else is in the room?
Nobody.
All right, stand by, we have contact. All right. Are you both drunk?
No.
All right. So you're not going to have any problems understanding anything that I tell you, right?
Correct.
All right.
Can I go to my room?
No, you're not going to do anything but come towards us. Okay. Young man, you are not to move. You're to put your eyes down and look down at the carpet. You're to keep your fingers interlaced behind your head. You're to keep your feet crossed. If you move, we're going to consider that a threat, and we are going to deal with it, and you may not survive it. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Young lady, shut up and listen. All right? You are to keep your feet crossed. Take both of your hands, put them flat in front of you. You are to push yourself up to a kneeling position. Kneeling position. Now, put both your hands in the air. Okay, crawl towards us.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. Stop. Okay. Cuff, grab, pull.
No, Rich, pull
Pull.
this
Rich,
way.
Pull. Let me know when you're clear. Clear? No, you're not clear. You haven't pressed it yet.
You're not. You'll be in the chain so we'll figure out exactly what's going on. Okay? Just be cool and we'll be done.
Okay, when you're done with that, lay her flat. Okay, I need one more cuff rope. Okay. This is the deal. We're going to do almost like we did before. Okay? Okay, young man, listen to my instructions and do not make a mistake. You are to keep your legs crossed. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
You are to put both of your hands palm down, straight out in front of you. Push yourself up to a kneeling position. I said, keep your legs crossed!
I'm sorry.
I didn't say this in conversation. Put your hand! Hands up in the air! You do that again, we're shooting you. Do you understand?
Please do not shoot me.
Then listen to my instructions.
I'm trying to just do what you
Don't talk, listen! Hands straight up in the air. Do not put your hands down for any reason. You think you're going to fall, you better fall on your face. Your hands go back in the small of your back or down. We are going to shoot you. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Crawl towards me. Crawl towards me!
Yes, sir.
Don't go! Get up on him. Okay, hold on him. One with me. Key card, key card. Key card. Sam 81998.
Hold on. I gave you 2 key cards.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I don't know how many times I've seen that, but I don't ever want to see it again. I mean, that is absolutely heartbreaking. Sorry, I think that other video was trying to play, but it is heartbreaking. High Priestess, yes, it is. And I told you it was graphic. Now, the first time I saw that, I was truly shocked, as most of you probably are as well. What in my opinion, a misuse of force. First of all, it should have never escalated to that point. I mean, they had 6 officers standing there in the hallway with guns pointed at this poor guy, terrified. Not to mention, he was 3 times over the legal limit to drive. He was drunk. He was very drunk. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm not drunk, and I had a hard time understanding his instructions. He was telling him to put his hands down, put his hands up, put his hands on the sides. I mean, cross his feet, then crawl. Jiminy Christmas. I wouldn't have known what to do. That was awful. So I want to show you some pictures of the aftermath here. As it turns out, Mr. Shaver was hit with 5 bullets from an AR-15 rifle that belonged personally to Mitch Brailsford, this guy right here. So you can see that his countenance has changed a little bit from the time that he was a Mormon missionary to now. You can see he's got some ink done, which, you know, but not just that, but it's mostly just the look on his face. And to give you a better idea of what he was about, this was the actual AR-15 that he shot him with. I want you to read the inscription on it. If you can see it. I won't repeat the word, but it's there for you to see. So that was the AR-15 that Mitch used to put 5 bullets into Daniel Shaver's body. And if you don't know the kind of damage that an AR-15 can do, let me show you what it did to Daniel's knee. Look at his knee, or the side of his knee. And he had a bullet that grazed the side of his face, barely missed his chin. It's that one right there. And he also took a shot right in the back of the neck, which indicated he was looking down at the time, because he had a bullet that went right into the back of his neck, into his spine. Instant death. These guns are no joke. And I'm not here to debate gun rights and all that kind of stuff. I'm here to debate whether this was murder or not. But here's another one on his chest. And here he is moments after the shooting, slumped over on the floor. So the video cuts out because those cops, in their haste and in their incompetence, they were trying to open the wrong door, because I saw it today. They were trying to open the wrong door. 502 was the other door to the right, but I'm sure they finally figured it out, got their key card to work. And as they went in to his room, this is what they saw. There's the pellet gun on the floor. There was an empty bottle of Bacardi, so a whiskey bottle, things like that. Everything that I've been able to read, Daniel Shaver was a great family man, a great hardworking man. He was there on business, as I mentioned at the top of the program. There he is with his daughter. He has 2 daughters. and a wife, as we mentioned earlier. So anyway, I know it's gory, it's graphic, but this is the reality, ladies and gentlemen. This is the world that we live in, and this is the kind of things that are going on out there in the world today. There's one more I want to show. So these pictures are all out there on the internet, and they are disturbing, but that's the story of what happened. Now, it didn't end there. Of course, Mitch Brailsford was fired from the Mesa Police Department in the wake of all this. He was charged with second-degree murder, and also, I believe it was reckless manslaughter or something like that. And so he went to trial, and he was acquitted of all the charges. And after he was acquitted, the Mesa Police Department rehired him for 42 days. They put him on a desk job, and he was able to prove that he had PTSD and got a full pension. So he gets $2,500 a month for life. And he walked away after he got that pension. He resigned and walked away. So that's basically it in a nutshell. Now, what I would like to do is I'd like to open it up to you guys for discussion here. I would like to, know your thoughts on this. I'll pull some of the comments up on the screen. We can talk about this. Here's one from Chelsea Lynn. I'll pull that up. Let's see what she has to say here. Chelsea Lynn, thank you for joining us. My dad was a cop for 35 years in some of the worst neighborhoods and never fired his gun. I asked him why, and he said he never had to. It's one of the reasons I wanted to bring this case to light was because my mom and I actually had a run-in with the Mesa Police Department. It was last year, I believe. And my mom and we were sitting in a church parking lot in Mesa, and we were visiting, and we were just hanging out. They have, in some of the churches, they have little barbecues and basketball courts and picnic areas. So my mom and I were sitting over there, and we were just enjoying ourselves. And pretty soon, out of the blue, we had, I don't know, what was it, Mom, about 5 or 6 Mesa police officers show up and surround us with their guns drawn and wondering what we were doing there. And I said, well, we're just hanging out, just visiting, we're sitting over here anyway, they were really, really rough with us. They, they questioned us. They yelled at us. I could see things escalating really, really quickly. And I could see if I made one wrong move, they were going to be right there. And it's unfortunate, the police are supposed to be there to protect and serve, but I mean, what have they turned into? Here we got the Missing is with us tonight. Thank you, Missing, and I'm glad you're here. I wish I had a way to pull you on here tonight as a guest. If you guys don't know who this is, go check out the Missing live stream. He's a retired law enforcement officer, and the officer was in the wrong, he says there, and I agree with you 100%. Wilma, my good friend Wilma, that's some bull. I agree with you. Just looking through the comments here. Anyways, after the police ran our license and saw that we were cleared, they went ahead and left us alone. But my mom and I were traumatized by that. They were in the wrong there too. And I didn't have the presence of mind to get my phone running or anything like that, like the video camera, but it really upset me. And I was upset for like 2 or 3 weeks after that. So I know a lot of these cops running around, they are very egotistical, and our police are far too militarized. It's terrifying. Yeah. And without getting into a huge debate, I know these are hot button topics that we're bringing up tonight, but we hear things about defund the police and stuff like that. I don't necessarily believe in that, but do I think that there needs to be some kind of reform? Absolutely. I mean, if we were to go back and watch that again, which we're not going to, but if we look at how the officers started out, you know, telling people to shut up, keep your mouth shut, you're going to obey me. I mean, that is insane. I mean, where do they get off talking to people like that? It's insane. And I agree with you, Candalee. And so, as far as I've been able to tell, Mitch Brailsford is still living here in the Valley somewhere. Last I saw, he was working for a steel company in Glendale. If you want to come on tonight, I'm talking to I don't remember his name, the guy from the missing. If you want to come on here and visit with me, I can put your email on here and I can send you a link real quick. And I can get you on here. I'd like to pick your brain on this case and find out a little bit more about what you think from a law enforcement perspective. If you don't want to, that's fine too, but the invitation's there. I'm going to take some more comments. Thomas, there we go. Thank you, Gonzo. Thomas, yes. And guys, I am bad with names. You can ask my students. I have a hard time remembering people's names, but Thomas, I remember when you first got started, buddy, and I was going in and watching your videos and trying to give you shout outs and get you going. So, but in the meantime, let's look and see what some of you guys are saying here. We have, who's with us tonight? Patricia Lynn. Before a cop is hired, they should have some extensive testing done and be taught to leave their egos at the door before their shifts. Something should be done. Okay, here we go. This is from Eric. Mesa cops have a reputation for being over the top. They are known to harass homeless and people minding their own business. Yes, and actually, you know what? I found another video, and I'm going to have to give TMZ credit for this so I don't get a copyright strike, but I want to show you guys another video. This is actually another incident prior to the shooting of Daniel Shaver. It was from 2015 involving Philip Brailsford, the same cop, Mitch. And I'm going to show that to you and show you how they're treating people out there in the public. Let me show it to you real fast. Hold on one second. If Thomas's email pops up, you guys let me know, because I would like him to bring him on tonight if he wants to. All right, let's see here. We've got this one right here. Check this out. This is Philip Brailsford again. See if it's going to work or not. I don't know if it's going to.
Do I lock the doors? Lock the doors. Lock the doors.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh.
Fucking ground now.
Back up. Yeah, that one too.
Get on the fucking ground.
Back up! Why are you hitting it?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Get on the fucking ground.
Mom, like these cops are punching James.
Obviously, you had an issue.
They're being so aggressive with him. They're punching him. They're throwing him around. And fucking this guy fucking choked me, threw me to the fucking ground.
Choke the fucking feet.
And now he's trying to fucking abuse me. He's trying to hit me. I'm not. Look, they're kicking him right now. They're stop!
Oh my god.
Back up. Stop!
I am suing each and every single one of you.
Stop.
Suing.
Let go of him.
Everyone back up.
Can I
And
talk
tell
to
him
you,
to
please?
stop punching him.
Can we walk away and talk? I need to talk to you.
Yes.
Oh shit.
I'm arrested, pussy! Stop!
No.
Just calm
We're
down.
gonna take
Do
you
not
back.
Oh shit. Another one just pulled up. Another one just pulled up.
Can't fucking breathe! Get the fuck up! Relax, everyone up.
I am right, you dumb cunt.
Robert, enough is enough. Just stop.
I'm fucking on the ground. What do you think I'm doing?
I know, Robert.
Are you
I saw
fucking-
it all. I saw it. Just stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize about the language. I should have gave you a warning on that. But yeah, that was Philip Brailsford, Mitch, prior to shooting Daniel Shaver in 2016. That was one from 2015. So yeah, I agree with you, Eric. They do have a reputation, and the more I look into it, the more I hear that from different people, that they have a reputation for being very abusive. So, and I don't know what those guys did. I mean, I thought I read something where they were hanging around that Circle K or something and they weren't supposed to be there. But man, I tell you what, I don't know where some of these police officers get off talking to people like that and treating them like that. It's insane. So I don't see Thomas, but that's okay. Let's take some more questions here. I want to see what you guys think. 666. Sad and so wrong. I agree with you guys. I got some more pictures here that I want to show you real quick. Or one more. I'm going to show you another video here real quick of this is what it would have looked like looking out of it wasn't Daniel Shaver's window, but it was right next to room 502. So anyway, that's right where he was shot. I was there today. It was kind of an eerie feeling being in there. It did look like they had changed the carpet, as I would imagine, but it was still the same design. It was just probably replaced, hopefully. Yes, Chelsea Lynn, I do believe Chappie was a good cop, and I believe that's probably why he's not in it anymore, to be honest with you. And I don't pretend like it's an easy job. If you talk to Chappie or any other police officer, it's a very difficult job. And I'm sure Thomas from the missing can attest to that as well. Sometimes you're put in situations where it's a split-second decision. But in that situation with Daniel Shaver, I don't think it should have ever escalated to that. They could have easily had somebody hold him. They had 6 officers there. Somebody could have held a gun on him while somebody went over and put handcuffs on him. It was ridiculous, in my opinion. And so in my opinion, everybody's got their own opinion, right? But in my opinion, it was first-degree murder. And I think that Philip Mitch Brailsford made off like a bandit. He not only got away with murder, but he also got a $2,500 a month pension for life. So, okay. Do you have Debbie Spence? Do you have his email address? The missing live stream. Okay. Is that the missinglivestream.com or not .com? At Hotmail, or what is that? Does anybody know? I'll zip it over to him real quick, and he can get on here within the next couple of minutes. At the missinglivestream.com or at the missing livestream. It's above. Gonzo, what is it? Help me out, Gonzo. Send me a text. Let me see if I can, because I'm trying to find it. I'm scrolling through the comments here. Thank you, Tracy, for basically moderating tonight. I don't know if I actually have any moderators, but she's in there taking care of stuff for me. Thank you very much. All right, hold on. I think somebody's texting it to me. There we go. Okay, the the missing live stream at gmail.com. All right, it's coming through right now. Guys, bear with me for 2 seconds so I can send this off. There it is. It looks like I've emailed him before, Thomas. Hey, I sent it to you, Thomas. So if you just follow those instructions, we can get you on here real quick. I'd like to hear your opinion on this case. So he'll be popping in here in just a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully. Okay, so yes, I do see a comment here that I want to bring up, Cat H. It says, looks like he was trying to pull up his pants. And Chelsea Lynn, whose father was a police officer, said Mitch said he thought he was, oh, look who we got, ladies and gentlemen. Missing. Hey, what's up, Thomas?
Not bad. I'm trying to get the echo.
Oh, I'll tell you what's been happening with that echo is if you have your YouTube open. Okay, so yes, I do see a comment here that I want to bring up, Cat H. It says, looks like he's trying to pull up his pants.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me get rid of this YouTube. Okay, see if that's any better.
Oh, that's much better. Thomas,
Okay.
How you been, my friend?
I'm fine. I'm very fine. I tell you what, when I see videos like this come up, though, I did 33 years in law enforcement, and I appreciate everybody saying hello. I did 33 years in law enforcement. 20 years of that, I was a detective. I was in narcotics. I ran a narcotics unit for about 10 years, and I'll just tell you, going back and dissecting that video, when they had him on the ground and they had his hands above his head and his legs crossed, that is a typical handcuffing position. You have a guy that you could have him, hold a gun on him, the other one walk around behind him. He'd sit on his legs where he can't move his legs, and then he'd cuff him. His instructions were so mixed up, I couldn't have followed them if I was doing them.
I couldn't either. I couldn't have done them sober.
And I didn't understand, what they were trying to tell him, not to get his hands down near his waist. But while I would have never in a million years had him crawl towards me like that, when you could just easily come up behind him and cuff him, that would all have been it. I don't understand it. And I sure don't understand them why they hired him back. That was insane.
Oh, that's totally insane, Thomas. And you know what they did? They tried to do it secretly. They tried to brush it under the rug and just give him enough time, 42 days, a little over a month, to go in there and get a pension.
Well, I don't understand that either. But why did the family end up suing him for wrongful death?
Yes, they did. And I don't know what the settlement was, but his wife, Lacey, from what I understand, got a pretty healthy settlement out of it, the whole thing. So,
well, at least that. It doesn't make up for. One thing is, I hope he can never be a police officer anywhere again.
I know.
I have been in situations like that many times. And I just did not see a reason why they had to shoot him. I mean, if you got 4 or 5 cops there, starting out with, the biggest thing is they should never, ever have him walk, crawl to them. They had him in a perfect position to cuff him, then they could have found out what was going on. Now, I remember a call. We sent a couple of officers out to a loud party call. I worked for a beach town, and my last 20 years, and they had about 100 people out around this house, summertime, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A guy had a pellet gun, just like that one, and he was shooting it out towards the Gulf of Mexico. And 2 officers approached him, and lucky enough, they put a light on him, told him to drop the gun. The guy dropped the gun, and that was it. But that, I mean, they easily can be shot because they look just like a gun. You know, they look exactly like a gun. That looked like an AR-15.
Yeah.
But, you know, he didn't have a gun in his hand. And sure, he could have had something down. Now, when he put his hands behind his back like that was a big problem for me too. Because if he would have had a gun in the back of his waistband, he could have very easily took it out. He would have gotten shot, but he could have but they were so mixed up in what they were telling him, you know.
Yeah.
His best bet would have been to say, I don't want to move because but that's not, you got an officer telling you do this, do that, and one telling you do this, do that. It was very confusing to me.
No, it was very confusing. And if you listen closely, Thomas, and you pause it as you go through it, you can hear him saying, "I'm so sorry." Like he's trying to just say, and his body language is very, it's telling him, "Look, guys, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not a threat. I'm trying to follow your commands here."
I agree.
And the other thing is I find it interesting that there were 6 cops there and 5 of them held their fire except for this trigger happy Mitch. And then it turns out that he had "You're effed" inscribed on this. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like he was trigger happy?
Well,
Thomas?
I don't know. I didn't actually hear about the first part. I was getting up to your channel, trying to close out my last video and get, how you got to do a few things for you to close it out. And I didn't hear his last, what you said before this when I came in. But, he definitely shot him. But I mean, there's 6 of them there. I don't understand why they didn't just pounce on the guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
I'm going to tell you something. I've been retired out of law enforcement about 9 years, 10 years. But, and I'm saddened by all of the hate towards police because I've got a lot of brothers in law enforcement that absolutely want to do the right thing and they want to serve the public. They're out here community policing. They're good people. They live in the community and they want to protect the community. But, I didn't agree with the George Floyd incident up there. That guy's going to go to prison for that. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't agree with a lot of that stuff. But now I see other times where I say, well, a guy reaches into a car. I remember there was a shooting. I think it was in Chicago where the guy walks around the car and they got the gun on the whole time. Stop, stop, stop. He reaches into the car and he gets shot. Well, I'm sorry if the guy reaches in, I don't know if he's going for a gun or not,
Right.
but I've got to go home to my family at the end of the night. That's how I always did. But at the same thing, you don't want to shoot somebody just because you can. And this guy, I didn't see anything in the video that would lead me to do that, what he did. One thing is he was so close to these officers that they could have grabbed him. They could have put him on his back,
Well, that's what they did to the That's what they did to the female. They grabbed her and cuffed her up, and he was in pretty much the same spot that female was when they grabbed her. I don't know why they couldn't have just done that. And I know Chelsea had made a comment earlier that that Mitch thought he was reaching for his waistband for a gun, and it was a split-second decision. And I do understand that. But considering the circumstances and all the other factors that were involved there, I just didn't see the need for deadly force in that situation, Thomas.
Well, obviously the police department didn't either. They fired him.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they hired him back,
Yeah.
Well,
his dad, I'm sorry, Thomas, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I will tell you his dad worked there for like 30 years and he was a sergeant, and then he was working in like the human resources department or something when all of this went down. So, or internal affairs or something. And so that may have had something to do with it. You know better than anybody how political some of that stuff can be.
Yeah. I've never seen a police department hire somebody back after they've been fired. If they would have came out and they have a shooting review board in most of these cases. The shooting review board makes a recommendation to the chief of police. If they think the shooting's justified, he's not going to be fired, most likely, unless they burn down the town and they don't feel like they can put him back, into. I still don't think they would fire him if he's justified, because they don't want a lawsuit from the guy with a justifiable shooting to be able to sue him. I think that, with him being fired like that, they should have never. They're opening themselves wide open to lawsuits by hiring the guy back like that.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't. But now listen, just because I'm a retired cop, I don't automatically see all cops as doing the right thing. I tend to sit back and look at things a little bit further before I just automatically, I hate to use the word, but automatically damn the cops. But looking at the body cam, what I've seen tonight, sure, I did see him put his hand down towards his waist, but they had the perfect opportunity to cuff this guy when he was on the ground with his legs crossed. I thought that's what they were going to do when I heard it. I said, all right, he's in a leg cross. He's hands behind his head, perfect cuffing position. The guy could have walked up with a rifle on him. The other one walked up behind him, sat on his legs, and cuffed him. I mean, it's classic. I've done it 100 times like that.
Yeah.
But not, and then even I might have just said when I sat on his legs, put your hands behind your back and then cuff him like that. But I never had him get in that position. And then, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of talk about the harshness of talking to the guy. And I'm going to tell you, that doesn't surprise me, because they tend to want to get control of the situation. And you can't just say, sir, you mind sitting on the ground there and listen, put your legs crossed, and they need to be forceful. Now, I don't agree with calling anybody stupid or trying to antagonize them, because if you antagonize them, you're not doing anything but causing an issue between you and him and the rapport. But you're going to tell him, down on the ground, put your hands out. Now listen, you need to do exactly what we say, because any movement towards your waistband, any movement could be considered a threat, and we will take action against the threat. That didn't bother me. That didn't bother me at all. But you don't want to tell the guy, look, shut up, be stupid, da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
Just, talk to him calmly, but talk to him authoritative words. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying.
It's just like you do if, but I don't know what his problem was. I mean, one thing is, he was like, when he came up on this guy, I felt very scared for the guy from the minute he told him, after he had him down in the prone position, when he had his hands in behind his head like that, and he crossed his legs, I thought, it's over. He's going to cuff him. Then I was trying to think, well, what in the world did he shoot somebody like that for? And then he turns around and says all this kind of stuff. No, I see why he was fired. And I do agree with you. Why didn't any of the other officers feel like they needed to take action with a handgun? The second video, I was trying to get online. I didn't quite understand what was going on there.
Which one's that?
When the one in the store you played.
Oh yeah, that was a prior video from 2015. Yeah, you'll have to go check that out. It's on TMZ. Yeah, but
I see. I'll tell you this, and I never was the type of police officer that used all kinds of language towards somebody. I just didn't feel like you. Why do you try to dehumanize somebody when you're talking to them?
Yeah.
Now, although I'll tell you this, I worked in a larger metropolitan city police department. We had about 350 officers. My drug unit that I was in had 20 officers in it. That's bigger than some police departments are than smaller departments.
Right.
And if you go up into the project, deep in the projects where you got shootings every night. You have cuttings every night. You have police people throwing bottles at your car, people assaulting police officers. You can't talk to them the same way you can if somebody lives down here in the richer part of town. They don't understand that language. But you don't have to demean them. You
Right.
don't have to talk to them like they're ignorant, because they're not. A lot of these people are very smart. They could take their craft, whatever these guys are doing, illegal crafts, and make all kinds of money in the real world.
Yeah, Thomas, I got a question here from Leah that I want to look at, because I had this same question. Thomas, why are they allowed to use their personal weapons? If you notice, Mitch, he not only had his AR-15, but he had a loaded Glock on the front of him. Here, let me show a picture of it real quick, Thomas. He was armed to the gills, man. I mean, he had a side piece, he had one on his chest. Let me pull that up real quick. But and then we'll get to that question. But let me show you what I'm talking about here. There was one that was zoomed in on that, but you can see he's got his Glock on the front. He's got his side piece. And this picture was taken the night of the shooting. And so that was right after the shooting. But anyway, what do you think, Thomas?
Well, a lot of officers will do a backup weapon. They don't put them on the front of his chest, though. I mean, that's kind of stupid. But a lot of people will carry a backup weapon, and it'd be their own gun. They'll be allowed to carry it. They have to qualify with it. And they'll like carry it on their ankle. I always carried one on my ankle, and just in case I lost my gun,
right,
or something else. And you say, well, that can't happen, but I know an officer that had his gun taken away from him in a fight, and the guy put it to his head and clicked it, and for whatever reason it didn't go off. He pulled his backup weapon and shot and killed the guy. Now, AR-15, a lot of departments, I would think that Mesa would supply you with a rifle, but a lot of departments will not. But they'll allow you to carry your own rifle if you want to. And what they'll do is you have to qualify with it. We had our own rifles. I had a AR that I purchased myself, and I carried it, but I qualified with it too. And so that's just because some departments don't have the resources to buy everybody a rifle. Okay.
Thank you for that question, Leah. And because I had that question too, it just seemed like Mitch was overkill, man. He was like, in my opinion, he was wanting to shoot somebody. He was wanting.
One thing is, though, why carry your backup weapon, I say, on your chest? That is a tactical vest he was probably wearing. A lot of departments now, and you can watch them. You can go out and watch on TV. They'll wear a normal department, in most departments that I was in, you wear your bulletproof vest, or they call it bulletproof. It's not quite bulletproof, but they'll wear it underneath their shirt so you don't see it. But nowadays, they're allowing you to wear it on the outside, where in the summertime, you just can't imagine how hot it gets. It's like wearing an overcoat in the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
So what you have to do is, a lot of them are allowing to wear one on the outside of your vest. It's a bullet suppression vest. And then when you get in the car, if you don't want to wear it, you take it off. Mm-hmm. But a lot of those tactical vests, what it is, they'll have a place for a gun up top. Now, if I'm wearing a tactical vest with a place for a gun up top, I'm not wearing one on my side too. I mean, because the idea of a backup weapon is it not to be seen, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You want it to be secure.
Well,
if
no.
somebody gets the gun away from you, you can have something to help yourself out of that situation.
Well, Thomas, in most cases, you don't want it to be seen. But in Mitch Brailsford case, he wanted it to be seen because it was a show of power. It was a show of authority. And that's my opinion.
Yeah. You said something earlier, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. You said something earlier about you and your mother were out at a place, and the police came up, and they felt like they were being overbearing, you know. And that's what you get when you don't have what I call community policing. You know, community policing is the type of guys that come up, and if they have a question why you're there, they just come up and they're nice about it. There's no use in trying to question you like you're a criminal.
Well, if
you're out there smoking a joint and drinking a beer and you got loud music playing, then even in a state that allows it, they may come up and question you about that. But just
right. No, I was sitting there with my elderly mother. I'll tell you what happened, Thomas. And we were just minding our own business, visiting. And I looked out of the car and I saw 4 cars that were blocking us in with their lights shining. It wasn't their red and blue lights. It was just the regular headlights. And I said, what in the world's going on? And I hopped out and it was a guy much like this, like Mitch, that was just screaming at me. Do you see that sign over there? What does it say? And he was very condescending, very mean. And I was blown away because I was like, man, what happened to, good old fashioned respect? I mean, that would go, that would go a long way. Imagine if the difference in laying there in that hallway, if that guy would have been calm and said, okay, we got a call that there was a gun in your room. Is that true? We're here to investigate. We just lay right there and hold still. We got some guns pointed at you. Imagine how different that could have went. But he was screaming and hollering at him, telling him to shut up and cussing at him. And it was crazy.
Yeah. Well, just like I said, to me, anything past the point where he had him on the ground, legs crossed, hand behind his head, from then on, it was just bad police work.
Yeah.
And the problem that you see, and this is what's going on in America right now with police, other police officers are being taught this. You got to take responsibility for the other guys you're with if they make bad decisions. In other words, if you see a guy out here that's being too rough with a guy, or you see him doing the wrong thing, you say, hey man, chill just a minute. Let's get him over here. Let me go out and get him. You hold your gun to him. Let me go secure him. Instead of just trying to order him back like that. I mean, I couldn't understand anything what he was saying.
Yeah.
He did tell him to crawl towards him. When he put his hands down to crawl, he meant crawl on your knees. If you wanted to say to crawl on your knees, tell him crawl on your knees with your hands in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I truly, Thomas, I didn't even understand the instructions. He was telling him to.
I didn't either. And
how did
in law enforcement all those years?
Exactly. How do you cross your legs and crawl at the same time? I mean,
that'd be very difficult.
Yeah. What's he supposed to do? Hop on over there on his knees, So, it's just unfortunate. And I wanted to highlight this case. I saw a study recently where they did a poll in America and they said that I think it was 89 or 87 or 89% of all Americans are afraid of the police. That number's too high, Thomas.
Well, I'll be honest with you. It's just the way it is. Even now, when I'm driving down the road, I see one turn around on me, or if he lights me up, it makes me nervous because I don't know what kind of mood this guy's in. I don't know how how well trained he is, and it's weird. The other night, I went to pick up a young man that he stays at our house a lot, watch their dogs when we're out of town and stuff. And I cross over a hill, boom, there's state troopers. They got a roadblock. And here I am. I don't have my wallet on me. Everything's in the back of the truck. I don't have anything on me. And the guy says, license, registration. I said, well, there's a slight problem, And I told him where they were. And then I told him, I said, I'm a retired cop. And he said, where did you work? And I told him, and then we got into a conversation. But he was okay. Go ahead. No problem. He trusted me. I guess he could tell I'm not trying to, get over on him. But a state trooper, very well trained, very professional, well-trained guy. I have been stopped. I tell this story a lot. I had a guy that was working for me in narcotics. He was coming back from his wife's parents' house. Of course, he had the long hair, and he was in his personal car, and he gets stopped in this podunk town in East Alabama. And the cop, he never tells the guy he's a police officer. And the guy says, I clocked you at X amount of miles an hour. And he said, no, sir, I wasn't doing that. He said, do you care if I look in your car for drugs? And he said, no, I don't. I'd appreciate if you wouldn't. And he locked the door. And he said, well, I'm going to get a canine. And he said, well, go ahead. Well, he runs the canine around the car. He said, well, the dog alerted on the car. He said, no, he didn't. Well, he said, I'm going to search it. He said, well, go right ahead, whatever you got to do. Well, he didn't tell him he had a gun and a badge ID underneath the front seat. Well, when the guy found it, he got all upset. Why didn't you tell me you was a cop? Why didn't you do that? He said, because you didn't have a reason to look. You made this up, and that's what I fear. I fear those type of guys, not even just for me, but for you, for people that use the power of the job, because you gotta look at this. A police officer puts on the badge. 99%, I'd say as high as 99% of all officers in the United States are great guys. Yeah. They put on the badge, the gun, they go out and do their job. All they want to do is get home to mama and raise their family and live in a good society. But the 1% are the guys that use it for a power trip. They see it as a way to control someone, or when they get out of the car, they are in charge. Little man syndrome type thing. So, but that goes, I got the same problem with lawyers. I got the same problem with doctors. I got the same problem with a lot of people. So I have lived it. I have been there, done that. But, I've seen bad officers. I worked with bad officers. Fortunately, they didn't last long. But in this particular case, if just watching, all we're seeing now is a body camera, but the body cam is the telltale in this situation. Yep. He had the opportunity, for one thing, if he would have just gone and cuffed him at the time, because he was in a subdued mode. When he crossed his legs, I told, after looking out, I said, it's over with. And then I was trying to think, well, why did they shoot him? Do it that way. Yeah.
Well, Thomas, in conclusion here, I appreciate you coming on, but in conclusion, what would be your verdict? Should this man be behind bars, or should it?
Yeah, he shouldn't ever be on the, if nothing else, he should be charged with manslaughter. Here's the thing. A lot of these cops are charged with murder, but people need to go back and read the murder statute. Murder says you have an intent to do the crime before you get there. Basically, it's not really premeditated, but you have an intent to do it. Something else has caused you with the intent to kill somebody. I don't think he came there with an intent to shoot somebody. I think it's manslaughter, but manslaughter still can carry 20 years in penitentiary. Right. I don't think he ever should be allowed to work in law enforcement again. Why he's getting $2,000 a month like that? That's a joke.
Well, I'll tell you what, Thomas, why don't you ask the Mesa Police Department that very question? I'm going to encourage everybody to send an email over to the Mesa Police Department and ask them that question, why he got a retirement and a pension for life.
Now, is it the police department gave it to him, or is it like Social Security Administration?
Oh, no, it's not the police. It's the city of Mesa that rehired him. So I did read that.
I can't understand. Well, one thing is I don't understand why, if they sue him, they should have sued him personally too. So they get the $2,000 a month, basically. Yeah. But I'm sure that a lot of training came out of this situation. I would hope so anyway.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what we can hope, Thomas. And I know, I didn't want to come on here and paint law enforcement in a bad light, but I did want to have it. No, I want to thank you for your service. How many years did you say?
I did 33.
33 years. And you're I could tell you were a great officer. So
I appreciate it. Listen, anytime y'all want to get together, I've got some things that I'd like to do with y'all too.
Okay.
Some things, and we want to always continue to feature Suzanne Morphew. And in that case, I'm hoping with a new DA that something is going to come from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have been, you always keep it in that light.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's something that I check up on every single day, Thomas. I'm checking the I just haven't been featuring a lot about Suzanne Morphew lately, but that doesn't mean anything because I'm still very much in the thick of things with it, watching what goes on. I talked to, some of the other my fellow YouTube creators that are covering it, stay, up to date on what's going on. And let's, what we need to do, we all need to pull together and do a little feature on it or something and get the ball rolling again. And
yeah, I agree. And one thing else too is I try to end my program. We do a program just prior to you on the live stream, and we try to end it right. And I encourage everybody to come over and see your live feed because it's always interesting. In fact, I'm glad that Dusty has got his going too. It's just he's an awesome guy. I've really been following him for a long time. He's really done a great job.
Well, he sure is, and he had a lot of really good things to say about you too, Thomas. And if you guys don't know his channel, it's the 321 Report, the same one it's been. Thomas's program is The Missing. Go subscribe to both of those, and of course, if you're not subscribed to mine, Tiger Adventures, do that as well. We're all here to help, and I see some of the other. I won't mention any other names because I don't want to forget anybody, but I will say Gonzo's always here. Go subscribe to him as well. And we'll just keep rolling, Thomas. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. If you listen, anytime, that I can help you in any way possible, things like this happen when we get bad cops doing bad things, it really makes everybody look bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know a single police officer that would sit there and look at that and say, gosh, he did the right thing. I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. And it really shocked me when the verdict came back and his lawyer was saying that he followed his training, that's how he was trained. If that's how they're training police officers, then they're really, the police academy is really screwed up.
Lawyers speak.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Thomas. Well, thank you for coming on. And I want to thank everybody that was here tonight. You guys are incredible. I say it all the time. Thomas, we got some of the greatest subscribers in the world.
Oh, absolutely. I do too.
Yep. I know. And when I say we do, I know that a lot of mine are yours as well. So, but
all right, well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Everybody have a great night, and we will talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.